Day 6 of my 12 days of Christmas is this absolutely stunning vintage Christmas tumbler. This may be my favorite one out of the whole series. You guys are going to have to let me know your thoughts in the comments. I can't wait to show you how I made it, so let's get started. Today we're going to be using a handled 24 plump from the Tipsy Magnolia and this vintage vinyl. I am going to find half of my tumbler, and I'm going to do so by just tracing the bottom on some scrap paper, cutting it out, folding that circle in half, placing it on the bottom of my tumbler, and where it's folded in half, we're just going to make a couple marks up the bottom rim. You're going to grab a straight edge and a pencil or marking tool, and following that line from the bottom rim, you're just going to trace a vertical line going up the side of your tumbler on both sides. Now, I chose to kind of keep mine off center, so mine is before the handle. I wanted to be able to see part of the vinyl and part of the glitter on the face of the tumbler. Since I decided to start before the handle, I am going to just hold the vinyl where I want it on my tumbler and make two little lines with a pencil. Then I'm just going to cut little slits to make sure that that goes around the handle. This part does get a tiny bit tricky. Anything with a handle can be, but just be patient with yourself because my handled tumblers are my best sellers by far. Everybody always loves them. We're going to take the side where we cut those slits and just fold back the backing of that vinyl about a ½ inch or so. Then we're going to line up our slits with our handle and just kind of push it through there. And then we're going to just tack that 1 inch down, and we're going to get this smooth around the handle before we move on. Now take your vinyl squeegee and finish applying the rest of the vinyl. Around your handle, make sure those slit sections are really tight at the base, and any overhang on the handle, you're just going to cut off with an X-Acto knife. Cut the overhang around the rim off with an X-Acto knife, and then the bottom I'm going to cut off with some scissors, but leave a good ½ inch or so because I'm going to cut some slits and fold this down and around the rim. Now find your other line from the other half of the tumbler and draw a vertical line going up the side. Then we are going to take another piece of that vintage vinyl and apply it to that side. You should have a stainless steel gap in between. I don't think I mentioned this before, but I cut out those vinyl strips at about 3 inches wide. Do the same thing on the other side by cutting off the overhang on the top rim, just trimming some excess off around the bottom, cutting some slits, and folding that down around the bottom rim. I grabbed some 1/2 inch painter's tape, and I am going to tape off both sides where that stainless steel is exposed, but I'm just gonna hug it to one side. So I picked the left side on both sides of my strip. So you should still have some stainless steel exposed. Now you should have both sides of your tumblers taped off the same way, and we're gonna grab some red paint and some glitter glue. My favorite glitter glue is Tumbler Epoxy's Epoxy Seal. It's really thick and the adhesion is just unmatched. We're gonna take some Santa's Suit, which is a really pretty chunky reddish gold mix, but it also has that kind of, I don't know, maybe soft red. It's not so like vibrant, something that you would see more of a vintage color. So we're going to take that paint and glitter glue mixture and paint that gap of stainless steel that we have left. While our paint and glitter glue is wet, we're going to sprinkle on Santa's Suit. Go ahead and immediately remove your painter's tape, and we're going to grab our second glitter color. We're going to be using Chapters for this section. It's a really pretty soft champagne gold, and I have mixed up some glitter glue and paint again, and we're going to paint that other stripe and apply the Chapters glitter. Repeat this step on the other side of your tumbler. Also paint and glitter your handle, and I also cut a circle of vinyl in that matching vintage trees and put it on the bottom to cover any of my rough seams. Spray seal those glitter sections really well. Let your spray sealer dry and then add a layer of epoxy. I have cut out 3 different colors and 3 different thicknesses of vinyl. I did a red, a champagne, and this kind of light turquoise. And we're just gonna stripe out the side of our tumbler however you prefer. I now am going to take one of my hand-lettered SVGs. This one is available in my mentorship group. It is part of the subscription. You get 8 new ones every single month, and I felt like this one was just so perfect. It says, "Oh, Christmas tree," and I'm just going to place it on the bottom half of my tumbler. Take your tumbler back over to your turner and add its final layers of epoxy. And now your gorgeous vintage tumbler is all finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you try any of my tips or tricks or any of my products, make sure you tag Diamonds and Dust.